Welcome to day 55 of our Proven Cancer Strategies Revealed 90 Days to Cancer Resilience series. And today we are in the kitchen. Woo! Now, this week we have been talking a lot about inflammation and anti-inflammatory foods. And so I thought what we could do is make a little dish that is really anti-inflammatory. All right, so let's get going. This is something that's super easy to make. It's a roasted garlic, sweet potato, and onion mash. And everything in it is good for you. And like I said, it's so easy to make, and it will help to reduce your inflammation and boost your overall health. So we are going to start. We have our main ingredients. What did we say? Sweet potato. We got some big sweet potatoes here. I've got garlic and I have red onion. All right, those are the three main ingredients. What we're going to do is we're going to roast some garlic. So I got small garlic. So I've got a whole head of garlic here. What I'm going to do is just cut off the end here. And I'm going to wrap it in foil and roast it in the oven. Now you can add a little bit of olive oil to this. So let me get my olive oil. Forgot that. Just a touch. You don't have to, but it's kind of nice. So just a little touch to rub around in the garlic. And olive oil, which I was a bit surprised, is actually on our list of ingredients that are anti-inflammatory. So you have to watch because not all fats are. A lot of oils are processed, but this is extra virgin olive oil that I have. So I just wrapped it up and I'm going to throw it into, not throw it, but I'm going to put it into my oven to roast. All right, I just did that. All right, so that part is done, and we can move on to our sweet potato mash. What we're going to do is we're going to cut up. The recipe calls for 4 sweet potatoes, but this one is probably worth 3 or 4 on its own. So let's cut this up into cubes. Now you can peel the skin off if you want, but I'm leaving the skins on because the skin is very high in nutrients, and I don't want to lose those nutrients. And you can eat the skins, no worries at all. So this is a pretty big sweet potato here. I'm going to master it with my knife. Here we go. And I wanted to show you just how quick it is to make this. So I am cutting it up as we go. And so what I'm going to do is cut it into cubes. And again, I'm leaving the skin on. I'm going to chop it up a little bit here so that I can cut it into cubes. And the size of your cubes is up to you. But you know, it'll take, if you've got bigger cubes, it'll take longer. And if you can, you should try to get them uniform size so they cook at the same time. Sometimes it's not easy because some of your pieces are round, which doesn't really work. And so I'm just going to cut this up on my little cutting board here. And I have we're putting this in the oven roasted. So I've got some parchment paper that I've put in my baking tray, and I'm just adding the sweet potato to my baking tray. All right, so I'll do a quick here. And like I said, you can make it bigger pieces if you want. It'll just take longer to bake. I have my oven preheating on 350 is what I use. If you check out the recipe, it calls for 400 and you roast for about 30 minutes. I prefer to use a little bit of a lower heat, but you can use 400 if you'd like. It's okay. And so because I'm using 350, it will take just a little bit longer for it to bake or roast. All right. So let's get this chopped up. Now, sweet potato, you can see that orange. That orange is showing those very good beta carotene, which is going to support our immune system. It also helps to fight off inflammation or to reduce the inflammation that we have. As we age, we actually will get more inflammation. It's part of the aging process. However, the foods that we eat are going to really make a big difference in how fast that inflammation catches up with us. Because inflammation, that chronic inflammation, is that smoldering fire that makes it's like a smoldering fire. And if you don't tend to it and you let it continue to burn, eventually it turns into a 5-alarm fire. When we're in a 5-alarm fire, that's not really good because that's when we're going to end up with the chronic disease. And so for something like cancer, the actual cancer cells are going to start growing in our body well before. We all have cancer cells in our body, but it's a matter of whether or not our body can keep up with removing them and doing the maintenance so that we don't get cancer and it doesn't become an issue and a chronic disease thing. But at some point, if your body can't keep up, then the inflammation will take hold and it'll start to grow. And like I said, that smoldering fire will become a 5-alarm blaze, and that's when you have real health issues. So we want to make sure we are minding our health and trying to eat good foods. And so what are good foods? Really, I don't think you can go wrong with fruits and vegetables and eating the rainbow. You've probably heard me say that many times, and other people say that as well. It's really important, but it's also very easy. And we can see here, we're just going to cut this up. We're almost done, OJ. One more little piece. I've got that spread out. And then when I'm done with this, I'm going to cut up an onion, my little red onion here. And I'm just going to cut it into wedges. I don't need to cut it into very fine dice. So this won't take very long. I'm basically going to cut off both ends and then cut off the, peel the skin. You can cut it in half and peel the skin. Yeah, this one is not cooperating to come off. But if you cut it in half, you can peel off the layer of skin on the outside and have a beautiful onion. And you can see it also, our onion has prebiotics in it. It also has fiber, and it is going to feed our gut, those good bacteria in our gut, as well as lots of other things. It is really essential for our overall health. Onions are great, and they also help to reduce the inflammation. So all I'm doing is cutting it into wedges. I just cut the onion in half. I'm slicing it into little wedges, and that's it. So in 10 minutes, we've got our everything prepped in our kitchen. All I needed to do was wash the outside, and we are good to go. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil on my You can roast without the olive oil, but I always love a little bit of olive oil for a veggie roast, unless I put it in a casserole dish with a lid to keep it from drying out. And then I'm going to add in some things. I'm going to add in some turmeric. So turmeric, we've been talking about it being a very powerful anti-inflammatory because of the curcumin that's in it. So I'm just going to shake a little bit onto my potatoes and onions. So good. And then we are going to add some black pepper. So black pepper goes with turmeric. And what that does is it allows the curcumin to be absorbed by our body. And it's about, for 1 teaspoon of turmeric, you should add about 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. And it will up your absorption rate, check this out, by up to 2,000%. I'm just going to use my hands. You could use a spoon, but I'm good. My hands are washed, so I'm going to just give this a little mix so that everything gets kind of mixed up, and a little bit of olive oil and spices. Now, I'm going to add in a little bit of, yay. Okay, I'm going to add in a little bit of coriander here. That didn't go very well, but that's okay. We're going to just add in some coriander. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of cumin just for additional flavor. Now you can add a little bit of salt if you want, but I am trying to limit my salt quite a bit. I've not been salting my food or putting salt on stuff when I'm cooking. And my taste buds have actually made the change, which I'm so proud of myself, because I would have never thought I would be able to be salt-free. I thought that was going to be impossible, but it just took a few weeks of getting used to it. All right. And so we're just going to put this in the oven. Now, if you're baking it at 400, you're going to put it in for about 30 minutes until the potatoes are soft. If you're doing it what was I going to say, at 350, and you'll probably want to do it for probably about 45 minutes until they're soft. We're going to bring out a beautiful tray of roasted veggies. So you can see that they're beautifully roasted. Be careful. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to mash it up, but we're also going to add a little bit of wilted spinach. So what I'm going to do is I have a little frying pan here. You can do oil, but I'm going to take my spinach, which is coming organic washed baby spinach. I'm going to put a little bit of water in my pan, and then I'm just going to wilt it by cooking it for a very short time. So I'm just going to let the water boil. And while I'm doing that, we are going to add the baby spinach. Oh, sorry. We're going to put this in a bowl. Our roasted veggies here, our roasted sweet potato and onion. And I wish you could smell it because it smells so good. I was smelling it while I was working away, thinking, oh, I could hardly wait to have my lunch. Yum. All right. And now this is the beauty of parchment paper. You can just use that, throw it into there. We got lots. Now this is a great side dish. I think if you wanted to, you could make it into a main, but you could add a little bit of grains, maybe some black beans with it. Would be nice, and you would have a beautiful dinner. You can add some more So here's our veggies. Honestly, you could do it just like this. It looks so good and tastes so good. But we're gonna mash it up here. And I'm just taking the back of a fork to mash it up. A little bit here. And oh yes, I want to add my garlic. Where's my garlic? So I've got my roasted garlic here. And basically I'm just gonna squeeze the garlic cloves in, and then I can mash it into my, yeah, they just come out. They just squeeze out here. All right, we're gonna, oh, it smells the garlic. If you love garlic, it smells so good. And you can, like I said, you can just squeeze it out. Ooh, ah, ah. Mine is not cooperating here. All right. A little bit of garlic. I don't want to miss any more. So there's, I think I have some buds that I didn't, cloves that I didn't actually cut open. That's why they're not cooperating with me. Oh, so much garlic. And once it's roasted, the garlic has a beautiful flavor to it. It's not the same flavor and pungency that you get with garlic that has, raw garlic. So it's a very different taste. And so your garlic and the turmeric actually are, like the turmeric, is a very potent antioxidant. And helps to boost our immune system as well. So I'm adding that in. Just going to do a beautiful mash. I guess you could use a masher if you have like a potato masher, but I think this is good. And you can mash it as fine as you want or keep it a little bit chunky. Because I've got the skins on, for me, it's going to be a little bit on the chunkier side here. All right. I probably should have used a bigger bowl, OJ. It's kind of overflowing a bit. And now I can really smell the garlic in with my sweet potato and my onions. So what I'm going to do now is my water is boiling. I'm just going to add some spinach in, and spinach has a big volume and it shrinks down a lot. So it might look like a lot, but after it's wilted, it'll be like nothing. So I'm adding a couple of big handfuls of spinach, and those leafy greens are really amazing to add. Again, they are high on the list of antioxidants as well as all of these other ingredients. So I'm just gonna play with it, move it around a little bit to wilt the spinach. And that 2 big handfuls is going to turn into hardly anything once it's wilted. All right, so it's already a third of the size of what it was. Oh, so good. Right, I'll turn that off. And I am actually going to add, while that's wilting, I'm actually going to add a little bit of avocado to the top once I'm done to make my dish here. Oh, so good. So let's cut up our avocado. Just gonna probably take some slices or some dice. Oh, such a beautiful avocado. I love when they're fresh. This one is so good. So beautiful. No nothing, no dents in it, no black parts. It's fresh. Oh, so good. All right. So now, before we go on, let's take this wilted spinach. So we just wilted a little bit of spinach here. Slippery. I'm going to just add it here. Now, if you want to make your mash creamier, you can add a little bit of a plant-based milk to it, like a almond milk or oat milk, and that will make it creamier as well. And I think there's a little bit of liquid coming in from the spinach, which I'm just going to stir up and stir in right now. Stir it up. Smash it some more. Oh, Jay, yeah, I should have made a bigger bowl or used a bigger bowl.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's my Friday. Friday, go with it. All right. So this is my Friday lunch. And yeah, you could add in whatever you want. So let's, not looking very pretty right now, but I can tell you it smells good. So we could clean up the sides to make it look good, or put it into a little dish. Why don't we do that? I'm going to get a little. Put some on a plate. How's that sound? Just take some of this. Beautiful. And you could add, like I said, you can add whatever you want to it, but we're just going to do this in the center. There. We're going to add a little bit of avocado to give it some creaminess. Just full of. Some avocado on the top like that. And then we'll finish it off with a little bit of parsley. So herbs are also very good for us. And the avocados providing some healthy fat, and our herbs provide all sorts of nutrition for us. And there you have it. It doesn't take very long to make.
Looks so good.
And we have now our sweet potato.
Wow.
What I got to remember. And I want to make sure I catch everything. So this is the roasted garlic, sweet potato, and red onion mash for you.
Wow, beautiful.
Very nice. And I can hardly wait to try it. All right. Where's my fork? Was here. Oh, I have the fork in the mashing thing. All right. Let me get a new fork. All right. I just want to make sure that I captured everything I wanted to say today. Yeah, so we're good. Let me try this. Give it a little try. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. That must be yummy.
I'm going to answer you. Yes, it is. I love it.
I know.
It's so good.
Yeah, I love sweet potatoes.
Yeah, and it's so good. Good for you, which is even better. Not that we need it to be good for us all the time, but we would love that when it tastes good and it's good for you. It's a win-win. All right, so Again, this is a very nourishing dish. It's packed with ingredients that are supporting our health, and it tastes delicious, because if it's not delicious, we're not going to eat it. It might be okay to eat cardboard for a little while, but it's not sustainable. So we want to have good food. And your
That's right.
challenge that we gave you this week was to add some anti-inflammatory foods to your list. So you could make this weekend for as part of your meal. Just some sweet potato, some garlic, onion, a little bit of spices, and then you can add on some avocado and a little bit of parsley for garnish. All you want. But before we wrap it up, I want to share something exciting with you. We are on September 28th, which is 2 Saturdays from now. We are hosting our Last Hope for Health, our Last Hope for Healing Summit. This summit is bringing together some amazing leading experts in the field of holistic health and cancer resilience. They will share actionable tips, insights, and strategies for anyone looking to improve their health and fight chronic disease naturally. If you're looking for powerful, life-changing information, then this summit is for you. You can sign up by clicking the link below in the description. And don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to take control of your health. We'll see you next time, and stay resilient.